my friends, and welcome back to the rabbit hole. Today's video was supposed to be a very different video from what it will ultimately become. Let me tell you what the premise was. The SK2 facial treatment essence with Pitera, a very popular and very pricey product. I looked at the ingredients in this and thought, let's find a dupe. It looks pretty simple overall. And so, for the past 5 weeks, I applied SK2 to one half of my face, and to the other half, the Cosrx Galactomyces 95 Tone Balancing Essence. What ultimately happened was I discovered just how good SK2 actually is. Oh no, I'm too poor for this revelation. I want to keep today's video short. I will still have timestamps and links in the description box below if you want to jump around the video, but I also have to make a quick disclaimer, and some of you already quite know where I'm going with this. I want to make it clear. This video is only my experience. I do my best to control things and, just give you honest reviews when I show you the side-by-side and the before and after. It is always without filters. I don't know how to use filters, nor do I care to learn how to. It's not very helpful if you're reviewing skincare to use filters, right? One would think. I do think that the pictures you're about to see, or the video you're about to see, is, it's a lot. It's a hide your wallet situation. But again, this is just my results. If you had completely different results, I always urge you, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you have found a dupe, feel free to share that as well for me. Do that for me. But let's go ahead and get into this video. On the left will be the before, and on the right will be the after. We're gonna go ahead and start with what happened with the Cosrx Galactomyces 95 Tone Balancing Essence. So you can see that my skin does look better overall in the after here. It seems that it helped with the redness, it seemed it helped with hyperpigmentation, and yet I would say it doesn't seem it did anything for acne. Not that it really claims to. It is, called the Tone Balancing Essence, and I do think it did help with the tone of my skin. I think if I used it entirely on its own, I would probably be pretty impressed overall, although I would say, if you have acne, use something like benzoyl peroxide with it. But as for the SK2 side, oh my goodness, you all see what happened here. Oh my goodness. I am simply in awe of just how much this helped, in particular with hyperpigmentation and redness, but it also seems that it had a very visible effect on my pores, which I did not expect in the slightest. It actually did seem to help a little bit with acne, although I still wouldn't buy this for acne. But again, the most shocking part here is what this did for hyperpigmentation and pores and redness. Now, I want to stress something here. This was a 5-week trial. I tend to do, these days, 2-week to a month-long trials. 5 weeks, I really felt like I had to keep going and keep going with this to see the results. But I suspect what was going on is that it was a very subtle and gradual change. So if you are interested in SK2 and you've never tried it before, I would highly encourage you to take a before and after, because again, if I didn't do the before and after, I'm not sure I would be as shocked. It is definitely much more slow in results than something like vitamin C or lactic acid, and yet in the end, I kind of feel like maybe it was greater results and way easier to work into a routine. Again, I stress, the point of this video was not supposed to be, is SK2 worth the hype? It just sort of ended up accidentally becoming that. But instead, the point was, is the Cosrx Galactomyces 95 Tone Balancing Essence a dupe for the SK2? Which I'm going to ultimately just go ahead and let you answer. I would say perhaps in some ways, but was it as effective as the SK2? I mean, I wish it was. My wallet really wishes it was. But alas, it wasn't. So, why did I think it was, and why wasn't it? Let's answer that question by first having an examination of these two ingredients lists side by side. I'll go ahead and put both ingredients lists up on the screen. Oh, and by the way, I did buy both of these products. I actually bought this first experience kit here. Talk about a simple ingredients list here, and the SK2 website says that this is kind of the point in, we've talked about this before on this channel. In Japanese skincare, there's a belief in focusing on the simple and straightforward, and hence, that's why SK2 has this very simple and straightforward ingredients list. But something very interesting you may notice about this as opposed to the Cosrx is that the Galactomyces ferment filtrate has an asterisk after it. It says it is Pitera. Which brings us to talking about this Cosrx Galactomyces ingredients list. So Galactomyces ferment filtrate is listed first, and it does disclose that this is at 95%. So hold on a second. You mean to tell me the Cosrx actually has more Galactomyces in it? Well, that doesn't make a bit of sense with the results so far. Let's continue. We have some niacinamide, we have some hyaluronic acid, we have some other humectant-rich ingredients. I mean, frankly, the Cosrx formula looks better. But does that little asterisk matter? Well, it might. And to explain this, let's head on over to the SK2 website. You all probably know the supposed backstory of this Pitera ingredient. It was discovered in amongst those working on sake, right? But take a look at the latter half of this on the screen here. So it says that this was not the beginning and the end of the story. It took many years of careful research and development to bring it to market. Notice this part. Even the yeast strain used in FTE was calibrated to the finest degree. Scientists studied more than 350 species of yeasts, each with millions of yeast strains, before settling on the one now used. Yeah, so it's important to know that when you are talking about Galactomyces, you're actually talking about the genus and not the species. There could certainly be very different species in the SK2 essence versus the Cosrx. I want to be clear on how big of a difference this makes, so let's relate it to something else big, like big cats. Lions and tigers. Pretty big difference, right? They're both in the same genus, but they are definitely different species. And these are the kind of things that are in no way required to be disclosed in an ingredients list, which is how you can pick up two apparently very different products, see great similarities in the ingredients list themselves, and yet great differences in the results. Perhaps because there really are big differences between the products. Before I close out this video, who would I be if I didn't talk a little bit about the research, but also, as I just pointed out, it's a little hard to find research on the species that SK2 is using because they do not disclose that. However, we know Pitera is the trademark name of this yeast species or blend of species that is used in this product. So I was able to find a study that was published in 2021 looking specifically at Pitera, and it really just confirms my own results. Pretty well done study. They actually did two different studies within this publication, one with an N of 47 and one with an N of 57. They established a control in the participant's skin for 4 weeks, and then they switched over to using the Pitera essence, and sure enough, they saw a reduction in pore area, roughness, and redness in their skin, exactly like I saw. So to give you some conclusions, first of all, the biggest conclusions I got from this trial is that SK2 is an incredible product for hyperpigmentation, for the appearance of pores, for general brightening and fighting redness. But was the Cosrx Galactomyces 95 a dupe? Kind of no for me personally. Possibly to some extent, I did see more of a glow to my skin with the Cosrx, but just not at all in a comparable way to SK2. But that's it for this trial. I hope you all enjoyed this video, although if you are on a tighter budget like myself, you might be sitting there right now going, darn it, Alice, Alice. But I do hope this video was helpful regardless. As always, let me know your thoughts. And if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.